I'm delighted to welcome our guest today, Joseph McBride. Joseph is an attorney who has been representing various January 6th defendants. Joseph, thanks for being here.
It's good to be here, Danielle. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, I wanted to start out by asking you, what inspired you to decide to take on some of these January 6th defendants?
That is a great question. To make a long story very short, I became an attorney because my brother Anthony was wrongfully convicted and sentenced to 15 years of incarceration for a crime he did not do. My brother's wrongful conviction and subsequent incarceration inspired me to become an attorney and to fight against an unjust system that I knew was corrupt from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. So when I got my first January 6th call, it was a natural progression in my career and what I believe to be a calling to continue to fight for people who are wrongfully accused or maliciously prosecuted by the United States government.
Wow. So was it after January 6th that you realized this was something you wanted to reach out to them? You wanted to find a way to help out some of those defendants?
I got a call in February of 2021 from Richard Barnett. He was in a cell next to Jake Lang, who's represented by my colleague, Stephen Metcalf. Jake essentially passed the message to Steve, do you got somebody else who's out there who may be willing to help? I got the call from Steve. I thought about it, prayed about it, and God said yes. My family said yes. I said yes. And I took Richard's case on Ash Wednesday of 2021.
Wow. Well, give us a little bit of an update on some of the cases you've been working on and how it's been going with some of the defendants you've been working with.
So with regard to Richard Barnett, his case was supposed to be begin trial on December 12th. He is out. The government is still giving us discovery. And the most controversial charge, which is the 1512 charge, the obstruction charge, is going to be argued at the circuit level in D.C. on that same day. So for various reasons, we were able to get the case adjourned for trial to January 9th. That'll be the first actual trial that we have coming up. Ryan Nichols was incarcerated for almost 2 years. We just got him out 2 weeks ago, or maybe even less than that, so that he could begin the process of being able to prepare for trial. He was held in egregious conditions that violated his human and constitutional rights. We were able to get him out under a limited carve-out under the Bail Reform Act for the specific purpose of being able to prepare for trial, something he could not do in a meaningful way while incarcerated. So he is home with his family now, I am happy to report, and he will begin the process of preparing for trial. So Richard Barnett, we got him out. We got Ryan Nichols out. We got Adam Jackson out as well a few months ago. So they're kind of in the same boat, preparing for trial at home. Daniel Goodwin as well, preparing for trial at home. And then you have Christopher Quaglin, who is still incarcerated. He is down almost 60 pounds right now. He's dying. We need to get him out. We need to get him into a position where he can see his discovery and go through his discovery in a way that makes sense. Right now, even if he had a computer in front of him, which he certainly does not, he would not be able to process the information because he's down some 60 pounds. So we need to get Chris out. We're hoping to have an answer to our motion for reconsideration in his case shortly. And then it's the march to trial for those cases that I've spoken about and a few others as well.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. And do you feel like a lot of it depends on who their judge is, who they get in these things? Because sometimes it could be someone who's just very leftist and kind of has it out for them before they even hear the case. Sometimes maybe it could be someone who hopefully actually listens to the facts. But do you find that there's sometimes some variability there?
I have to be very careful how I answer that question because I have to appear in front of these judges on a regular basis.
Well, we don't want to get any of them in trouble.
It's a great question, and what I'll say is this, Danielle. Yes, your instincts are right.
Well, I guess I'll say my view. I think that it really does, and I hope that many of these people are fortunate. Maybe they'll appear before a Trump appointee or something, but a lot of the judges, especially appointed by Democrats, I mean, I think Trump was truthing about this, but a lot of them are very loyal to their side only. They're kind of want to punish many people on the other side. Whereas a lot of judges that are appointed by conservatives are much more open to hearing the actual facts of a particular case, and it's not about purely who they are loyal to. And sometimes I think these more Democrat-leaning judges want to punish the defendants, make them really sorry for what they did and so on, and give them very harsh sentences. Of course, you mentioned how some of them are even losing a lot of weight in jail. Do you have any stories to share about some of the inside stories from the defendants while they're incarcerated?
Of course. As a general matter, what we have right now is what we're calling the DC Gulag system. So DC jail was the original place where everybody was sent to be held pre-trial. People were routinely tortured there. We're talking about American citizens, the majority of them without any criminal histories of any kind. A substantial portion of them are veterans, honorably discharged. Some of them have gone to war for this country and bled for this country, and they've been treated there in a horrible fashion. I've worked with multiple members of Congress to raise awareness to this issue. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Louis Gohmert, Troy Nehls, Clay Higgins, Andy Biggs, Matt Gaetz. These are some of the people who have been speaking up about this since Jump Street, and they've been saying, hey, that this is wrong. So because of the level of attention that had come to these issues, they began to move prisoners from the DC Gulag itself